power of the crowd has been used so much to shield the individual uniqueness. You know, now this liberty movement comes so much to provoking to, it speaks to you as an individual. It gets you off the shield of protection of the crowd and speaks to you as an individual author. What are your abilities? What are your stuff? How can you translate those to value? And how can you translate them to value to attract other people's value? Because what we understand here is the market is all about value. It's not all about simply looking at money. It's how do I attract other people's value? Now, by me attracting their value is they will match the same value by something called a price. And that's when they will give to me. Now, a case in point, isolate ourselves into a high intensive, you know, including the fun, including the stuff, but we isolate ourselves to a 3 days intensive, you know, knowledge space. This is not something that's coming from the clouds, but it's something common sense reasoning that we're trying to actually, you know, embrace in these spaces. So the Africa Liberty Camp now tries to break this hedge of protection from this shield of belief, and you come to the real hotspot of reasoning, thinking, and questioning. And it has helped us actually translate a lot of students and scholars and the youth from this paradigm of dependency and believing into this protectiveness of the crowd and trying to identify yourself and relate to purpose as an individual. As the Africa Liberty Camp, we come and pay respect to all these avenues that are in place, and we say, no, let's get to an avenue where we give room to thinking, reasoning, and questioning whatsoever we have been believing for this long, and rather see what is so much beneficial for the relevance of society. Because the bigger picture is free individuals create the free enterprises, and the bigger picture of the liberty think tanks in the country is a free and a prosperous society. But the element of free comes mostly from the individuals. First of all, the individual being free to create, free to think, free to trade. And then the other element also has to be free to exchange with other people. Innovation, competition, creativity, all are in the avenue of the free market system. Now that also helps us educate people. At the Liberty Camp, actually, we are trying to dissociate ourselves from this wishful thinking and rather approach reality as reality. Steps that you build are important. And then we understand that these safe spaces, let me say per se, the Liberty Camp shifts to become an environment that actually disassociates us from the belief system. You know, as libertarians, we give a lot of appreciation to thinking and reasoning and not just to believe.
Libertarian is a person who value freedom more, free market ideas. Free market idea that involves individual liberty, rule of law, limited government, and free market capitalism. And individuals own their results. The result, the effort, whatever I do, it belongs to me, and the contribution I make to the government respects it and use it legally to do the impact or the work that the government is supposed to do.
Okay.
Or uphold the fact that ideas change the world. But the driving force behind the ideas are individuals. Now that motivation alone gives us an understanding of how then do we interact with individuals to really contribute to make these ideas come to life. As a matter of fact, when we talk of a limited government in our camps and in our teachings, it doesn't disregard the existence of the government. It only tries to echo the fact that, one, we should not always be over-dependent on the government, because the government depends on all of us. So government has to protect the rights and the freedoms of people, individuals. Yes, and then we also appreciate all those things, the laws, because all these things have to run. Rule of law is important, but who is the custody and who has to uphold and practice this? So our intent as the liberty and the free market think tanks is, if we could build a massive army of individuals or free individuals who think to create value in the private sector, we would make the world a prosperous one. But again, we want to also create this significance of crony capitalism. There is also that element of capitalism which has made people actually blame capitalism, whereby some individuals use the advantage of the state, you know, to do business and monopoly and what have you. That's why when we are talking of capitalism in our segment, we are emphasizing on the free market capitalism, whereby it's free individuals that are doing free enterprises and make the most they can. Are important in a way that if you change one person to change the other people, because facts are facts, irrespective of feelings, irrespective of our societies, of the indoctrination you've gone through. Should you will continue appearing as someone who's doing that, but we come into reality and say, no, the operational costs, the companies, the taxes is filing, the lawyers is paying to keep, his corporate, game into the market. We are not looking at others. For us, we are looking at the infrastructure in place. And we are looking at maybe the 100 stuff. We are not looking at the value of hospitality is offering.